All right, guys, what's up? It's Jack, and welcome back to another video. So in this one, I want to talk about the importance of this play test that XDefiant has over the weekend in this stress test session, because there's a lot more than meets the eye. It's a lot more than what it seems on the surface. And I believe that other than launch itself, if not, maybe this could be even more important. I think since this is seemingly the last stop before launch, fingers crossed, that this is the most important time for the game. And I wanted to take a few minutes to discuss that in this one. And at the same time, I just want to say that I know the footage in the background is Black Ops Cold War. I've kind of gotten back into playing COD just solely to prepare for this game coming up. And since I haven't touched COD in a long time, other than the last few days, it's been quite a while. I figured I could use all the time in the world, and lo and behold, they announced this play session. So I guess I got into it just in time. But anyway, and I just got tired of using the same old XDefiant showcase footage. So I hope you guys don't mind the brand new Black Ops Cold War gameplay in the background. But let's get back on topic here, because this is not a long video. This is a little bit shorter, but I wanted to make it short and sweet. So this play session is going to be the most important play session, I think, for the game in general. This is the time to put all the doubters to rest, and this is also the time to for content creators / streamers to take advantage of it, to promote the game, and of course for the devs to literally show off the improvements that they made in the game within its foundation. Now, I know that there's a lot of players out there that will not give the game a chance in hell simply because of the fact that it doesn't have enough content, and the fact that we're not getting additional content until after 6 weeks or so after the game launches, to when we go into season 1. Now, my take on this is that I understand the importance of content, especially in the year 2024. However, one fact that remains the same across through all time when it comes to games, well, almost all time, and I'll get back to that in a second. One thing that remains important, especially in the year 2024 and more recent times now, is that no matter how little content you have or how a lot of content, like if you have a lot of content in your game, that's great and all, but it doesn't, that amount of content can shrink very, very quickly if the game doesn't feel good to play. If it's laggy, if the party system doesn't work, if there's desync all over the place, if the hit detection sucks, and et cetera, you're not connecting, blah, blah, blah. All these problems or inconsistencies or whatnot are something that can negatively affect a game, no matter how much content it has, no matter how many game modes you have in the game and all that kind of stuff. That stuff quickly starts to shrink in comparison when you've got issues with the game's foundation. And that's what these last 9 or 10 months since we played the game, that's what they've been all about, really. It's all been about the things that need to function properly in the game, which is why they switched the servers over to Linux and stuff like that, as well as other things that they've been working on in terms of the foundation of this game, and them having to, more recently, having to go back to scratch because of a huge ass bug and a few other things. So, and at the same time, remember, we've been getting legit betas. Like the last time we played this game, there were legit betas, et cetera, et cetera. So it's not like we got a demo 3 weeks before release. So that's something that the community is not used to also. But this isn't 2010 anymore, and this is what I wanted to get into that I discussed earlier. Like back in 2010, when you look at Black Ops 1, for instance, right? A lot of Call of Duty community members would say that Black Ops 1 is one of the GOATs, especially if you are an OG Call of Duty fan, right? Or a player. But that game had terrible hit detection, right? So, but the rest of the game was so good that we kind of let it slide, right? But in the year 2024, that is actually a serious issue that could literally ruin a game when you consider the kind of hit detection issues that Black Ops 1 had back in the day. But remember, back in 2010, multiplayer gaming wasn't at the state that it is now, to where the standards as they are now. Now, granted, in a few ways, standards have kind of dropped, thanks to a few other things, but that could easily go off on a tangent, so I don't want to go there. So as I have about 2 or so minutes left in this commentary, I just want to say that regardless of whatever side of the fence that you're on, or whether you're on the fence itself, right? I would say not necessarily as a content creator. Don't get me wrong, we support XDefiant around here. We want the game to succeed, not just because of my channel, but just for the game in general. But putting, content creation and all that kind of stuff aside, I just want to say that this is your chance to make your final decision as to whether or not you decide to support this game. And I think you should try this last stress test session for yourself before you make a final decision, because this is, I believe, to be the last stop before launch, and it's the most important one. And again, if the game is not good enough for you, if you're still having the same issues as previously, as of 9 months ago, it's a hell of a lot more understandable as to why you lose faith in this game. So it's like, okay, you tried it for the last time, wham bam, okay, whatever. But at the same time, if things have been improved, right, then it's like, okay, this may be enough to kind of, you know, convince you to at least give the game another shot. And quite frankly, I think it deserves it, because the devs have been hard at work. And again, most of us are not devs, so we don't know exactly the specifics in terms of what it goes into with everything that they've had to deal with. Not to mention, they've probably been dealing with the publisher, who is, God knows what they're doing. I'm not sure. I can only speculate on that. So unless you're in there yourself, you really can't tell, or unless you're a fly on the wall. So most of us are not that. So, but with that being said, I think this game, at the very least, no matter which kind of player you are, deserves the benefit of the doubt. So at least give this game a shot, and by the time Sunday is over, you guys can determine on whether or not you know, will support the game or not. And that's all. But anyway, with that being said, I want to know down in the comment section what your thoughts are, your points of views, and all that kind of stuff. What are you looking forward to? Are you going to be grinding the game, etc., etc.? I would like to know. And with that being said, as always, I'd like to thank everybody for taking the time to watch and or listen. And I'll catch you guys on the next one.